Something I like to ask myself before going into a new project from an older artist or an older rap group is this necessary? Like does the community really need this? You know what I mean? Especially when it's coming from an artist that's like hasn't dropped anything in the past like 10 years or so. Leading up to the release of Let God Sort 'Em Out by the Clipse, I was really excited, you know what I mean? I was excited because of the Ace Trumpets music video and the So Be It music video as well. But once I started listening to the album, I was getting a little scared, I'm not gonna lie, bruh. I found myself enjoying the opening track, The Birds Don't Sing, you know, up until I heard John Legend on it. At that point, ruined the whole track for me. I hate John Legend with a burning passion. Then we go on to Chains and Whips with Kendrick Lamar. I really didn't enjoy this track at all. Like it the beat sounds really outdated and it just wasn't working for me. These two tracks off the rip put me in such a bad mood and it ruined POV for me. And then I went on to So Be It and I was like, oh, I love So Be It. This is gonna be, it's gonna be a good re-listen. Nope. These guys put a Castlevania ass beat on So Be It for some reason. I don't know what they were thinking. At this point, I'm really pissed off. At this point in time, I'm convinced that I'm not gonna make a review on the album because I'm just not enjoying it. But then I heard Mike Tyson blow to the face. Mike Tyson blow to the face. And something just unlocked in me, and it's just a wrap for me at that point in time. I'm really enjoying the album. The beats are fun, the beats are unique, and I did go back and listen to the first half of the album, and my opinion changed. I did like a lot of them a lot more than the original listen, but I still feel the same way about the John Legend track and the Chains and Whips. But everything else is beautiful. You know, it's a great album. So going back to the question I asked at the beginning of the video, is this album necessary? And I would say absolutely. I think that it justifies its existence from not only a quality standpoint, but a standpoint of satisfying its target audience, satisfying the fans. You know what I mean? Like if you go online, it's an overwhelmingly positive review from damn near everybody I've seen. You know what I mean? Like, and it feels, I know it must feel really good for Push and especially for Malice, because I don't think Malice has been like in the rap game for a minute now, for like over a decade. So it has to feel good for these two, especially because it's such a traditional album, you know what I mean? Like it's really good. The only drawbacks and real negatives of this album are the fact that young impressionable teens might start whipping up baking soda in their granny crib or doing lines in the bathroom, but like, is that really that bad? I don't think it is. Now that we got the overall review out of the way, I want to go over some tracks that I really liked and give a little bit more of an explanation on why I didn't like the Chains and Whips track. Starting off with the Mike Tyson track. I really like how Push and Malice start their verses out in acapella. It kind of reminds me of the way that pastors give their sermons, and then like the choir and the band start to chime in at the right time to get the congregation feeling the spirit. But instead of talking about Jesus and the good book, they're talking about good cocaine and good drug. The instrumental is sort of a run-of-the-mill boom bap beat, but it just works. Like, you can't beat simplicity. It's bouncy and fun, and the bars are hard. So from a pure hip-hop perspective, there's not much you can really ask for. Also, the White Slave Masters in My Safe is such a hard bar, bruh. The next track I want to talk about is EBITDA. This might be one of my favorite tracks from the album. Like, it just makes me feel good, bruh. Like, it sounds really groovy, and honestly, I really don't have much to say besides the fact that I really enjoyed listening to it. I love their flow on this track. They ride the beat very well, and the instrumental is jumpy, and I'm a slut for some good synths, so that automatically makes me drawn to the track. The next track I want to talk about is FICO. This track is filled with a bunch of hard-ass bars like, used to call me Windex cause the thing I spray gonna make you change minds. I just seen Hercules run, and also heard your man was in there singing for his life. They was calling him Maestro cause time that heavy can crush. And then also Push and Malice's performance on this is top tier. Like, they're able to rap on this track in a way that makes you feel like they're larger than life. They feel very grandiose. They also really make the ambiance of this track seem like you're just like a street kid begging for a brick to flip. You know what I mean? Like, the track is essentially just them telling you everything that they got to deal with in the game to make sure that you know how horrible it is before you like get put onto it. And also, Stove God Cooks is on the track, and he gives a great performance. And first listen, I kind of wanted a verse from him, but I don't know. I think that he comes in and does his thing and gets out, and he doesn't overstay his welcome. And I kind of respect that. And with the little bit of time that he gets on the track, he makes his presence known. Like, I think that his chorus, like his hook, is one of the most quotable and most rememberable things on the album. Next up, we got POV, and honestly, I was ready to put this in the don't like category with Chains and Whips, but I gave it another listen, and I really think that the John Legend track and Chains and Whips really put me in such a bad mood that I just hated this track and everything that came after it up until like Mike Tyson. After listening to it again, this is a great hip-hop record, bro. Like, it's literally just 4 minutes and 18 seconds of shit talking and slick talking. However, the only thing I don't like about it is the fact that it makes me feel like a broke bitch. Also, shotgun with your ex feels like Malcolm's here is such a crazy and out-of-pocket thing to say. And then as far as the beat, it's really sinister and I really like it. And I don't know, I really just like this track a lot now. And the Tyler feature is very good as well. He does his thing on it. Now we're going to talk about why I didn't like Chains and Whips. I don't know why, but I really just didn't enjoy Chains and Whips like that. I really wanted to like it so badly. Like I said earlier, it just sounds outdated. Like, it sounds like a knockoff No Church in the Wild. Their flow doesn't really change throughout the whole track, and I think the repetition kind of lulled me to sleep. The bars are there for sure, and I thought that Kendrick's verse was good, but I feel like a part of me liking Kendrick's verse more than Push and Malice's was because that it switched up the flow and woke me from my slumber. I also wasn't a fan of the hook for the song either, and you can say I'm nitpicking, but I really don't care. I really didn't like this track that much. After hearing Push hype up this track, I was expecting something like mind-blowing and ground-shaking, but we really didn't get that in my opinion. I hate to end the track discussion on like such a negative note, but besides what I said about Chains and Whips, I think this is a phenomenal hip hop record, bruh. Like, I think it's such a beautiful thing that traditional hip hop can thrive in the current stage of like the music industry. And despite what you see online, the people still yearn for real hard bars and poetry about cocaine. But that's the end of my review for Let God Sort 'Em Out. Let me know what you thought about the album down in the comments. And if you made it to this, damn, I'm stuttering. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. Send a brother a like, subscribe to, damn, I can't speak. Subscribe if you like the way I talk, even though I can't talk right now. To my subs, I love you, baby. Yeah, yeah. But, that's the end of the video.